The breakout rooms have disappeared. Can you see them?
I can't actually.
Okay, they probably disappeared when I left. Okay, let's do this again. Todd.
Oh, okay. Zoom room is live. I mean, the YouTube link is live.
Okay, guys, we're just waiting for more people to join before we kick off. I know it's probably a little bit confusing.
Hi, I'm Henrik. Pleased to meet you.
Hi, Henrik. Nice to meet you as well. I'm just going to do a roll call for our judges. If you could raise your hand. Is Shane Shapiro here, or Josephine Moniz, or Sarah Harlan?
Yeah, I'm Shane. I'm here. I'm coming.
If you could just raise your hand so I could find you. Oh, there you are. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Thank you. Josephine and Sarah, if you are in the room, could you raise your hand? And we're just waiting on the last two judges, and then we'll kick off. Thank you for your patience.
Sarah was in the main group, so I think she'll be here. Maybe she just hasn't figured out they're going to this new group.
Okay, I'll just tell John.
I can text her if need be. Hey, Todd, good to see you, mate.
Good to see you, Shane. You know, I have to say, it was so, COVID really kind of messed up San Francisco. We had our, you do the plan, right, for the music business?
We've had to rewrite it. It's coming out in April.
So sorry. Looking forward to that. Thanks for your help with the local town here. Appreciate it.
The data is still good. It's just
Good.
It's a baseline.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Good to see you.
Okay, whilst we wait for Sarah and Josephine, can team 6 raise their hands? You guys will be going first after I make the introductions.
It might be great to have people put the name of the team that they're in their Zoom name.
That's a great idea. Guys, if you know what team you're in, could you make it your team name just initially so that we could start?
Yeah.
So that we could easily identify you. Thank you for that suggestion, Diana.
Mhm.
Team 6, if Team 6 could change their names first, that'd be great. Okay, I think Diana, if you can call it out off of the list, it might make it a bit quicker, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing Jeremy, Philip, Charlie.
Team 6, that's 7.
Oh. Team 6 is Alima, Brooke Phillips, Kevin Foltz, Christine Tate, and Sydney Pearsall. Which
They're not here.
I see
Guys,
Alima
if
on
you-
here.
No, I'm here. Sorry, let me just get my team together. I think they're having troubles with their link.
I put the link in the Slack, so if you can ask them to put their team or just put the letter 6 and then their name, so
Okay.
in their Zoom name, so that we can grab them. That'd be great.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, for people just joining the room, if you could put your team number alongside your name on the Zoom link, that would be great. Thank you.
Is Josephine and Sarah joined us as yet? No.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just gonna call some names out. Shailene Agawal, hi. Can you put your number in front? Could you put your team number and then your name? Change your Zoom name so we know what team you're in. Thank you.
Hi, I've put in the name besides my. I put in the team name besides my name.
I can't see it. You need to change your
Okay.
Zoom name. If you could just put what number you are, whether it's 6, 7, 10, or 2, and then Shailene, that'd be great. Magda, hi. Could you do the same? Could you put on your Zoom name, could you put the number and then your team? I think people, you're putting it at the end of your name, and if your name is really long, it's being lost. Thank you.
Okay, I
Got
did
it.
it.
Thank you. Philip Watson, do you mind doing the same?
Yeah,
Just
okay.
all my team members are in the waiting room. Just wanted to let that know.
I'm not seeing anybody in the waiting room right now, Alima.
Yeah, there's no one in the waiting room.
Are you sure they have the correct Zoom link?
Yeah, I put it in the chat. I'm gonna try it again. She probably just went to the
There's someone called MJE Barrow. Could you put your team number in front of your name? I think you've put it to the end and your name is long, so it's we can't see who you are. Thank you. And Elise Delgado, could you put your number, your team number in front of your name? Thank you. And okay, we're still missing 2 judges. Just let me ask Christine 1 second. I'll be back.
And Alima, make sure to send this link for this Zoom room. I just
Okay.
sent it in the chat.
All right, let me do that one more time because they said they're waiting. So if no one's in the waiting room, they're
All right.
definitely in the wrong room. Yep, that was the same link I was using.
All
so.
right.
She said that she's in the
People,
waiting room. I don't know if do you see her?
yeah. Well, I just let somebody named Sydney in.
Yep.
For those. Wait, is that one of your team?
Yes.
Great. Welcome, Sydney. And I'll let you know when I see others in here. And then, yeah, we're just waiting on 2 judges and then we can get kicking off.
I still have somebody called ELIES Delgado. I don't know what team you're in. If you could put the number in front of your team, please.
She's team 2.
Oh, she just changed.
Yeah, sorry, my internet went off, but thank you.
No problem.
No problem. All right.
Okay, so we can't locate 2 of the judges, so we will start. Diana, once we start, we can't let those 2 judges in, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, so we have our, let me close this screen. Hi guys, welcome to this part of the festivities. We have three of our judges online at the moment, Maura Church, Shane Shapiro, and Todd Tate. So I'll ask them to introduce themselves whilst I make Team 6 co-host, and once the judges have finished introducing themselves, we will let Team 6 go and you have 5 minutes. So Maura, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Maura Church. I'm the director of data science at Patreon, and Patreon is a platform that helps creators get paid directly by their fans. We do all sorts of stuff from machine learning to data analytics to deep learning to powering the business with data to drive decisions. And we provided one of the data sets for the conference this weekend. So I'm thrilled to be here.
Okay, thank you. Shane?
Hi, I'm Shane Shapiro. I run a company called Sound Diplomacy. We work with cities, governments, and property developers all over the world on music strategy and policy. We use data to identify how much music is worth in a particular place, and we measure the economic value of music in over 75 places around the world. And we have offices in 5 countries, and we've worked in about 100 places in total.
Great, thank you. Todd?
Hi, my name is Todd Tate. I work on music metadata. Daily at Megatrax. My claim to fame is I've been a South by Southwest advisor for the last 8 years. I judge around 100 pitch decks every year for South by Southwest. I'm an AWOL artist. You can catch Selah Dobro online, and I'm setting the metaverse on fire as crypto artist Bully Meow. Happy to be here.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so great. Thank you guys for the introduction. So Team 6, you're up first. Alima, I only have 2 people from your team who's online. It's yourself and Sydney. Can you confirm that that's correct?
I can see, yeah, that's only us 2 right now. Let me just see what's going on with the other 2 members. Give me 1 second.
Okay, Alima, we'll move on to Team 7. Do you know where they are, Alima?
I'm speaking to them on Slack. They should be on now. I don't know what is holding them up. I sent the link about 4 times. So
I believe they're in the wrong Zoom. So we're just making sure they're coming to this one really quick.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes, but if not, we'll have to move on to the other group.
okay, sorry about that. We're talking to them via Slack right now. Yeah, it looks like they ended up in the wrong room.
There's someone
And-
with team STHLM music in their name. Hi, are you part of a team or are you one of the judges? Hi, the person with team STHLM Music City in your name.
That's Sarah. I think she's a judge.
Oh, hi. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
hi Sarah, nice to meet you.
Thanks. Likewise.
Okay, so I will assign you. Okay, so only one person's missing, Josephine.
I think she's actually on the YouTube chat, so I'm gonna try to get her in right now, and then.
Okay, Alima, we're gonna move on to team 7, and hopefully you can find your team members and you can.
They're all here. They're all here.
Okay, can you ask them to change their names so I can make them co-hosts?
Yes, I believe their names are changed. I mentioned that in our team slide.
There's someone called Brooke Phillips. Is she in your team?
Yes, she
Yes,
is.
I'm here.
So it's Sydney, Brooke Phillips, Kevin Foltz, and Christine.
All right.
I think Christine is in the waiting room.
Yep, I just let her in.
Okay. Okay, guys, we have 4 of our judges here. Team 6, Diana will kick you off in about 30 seconds.
All right, guys. Yeah, if you could all get prepped, and I'll be keeping time. I'll give you a 1-minute kind of nod. And yeah, let's all just make this happen. Thanks everybody for being so patient. It's a lot of moving parts and it's the first time anybody's done this. So, well, all right. Why don't we kick it off? April, are you able to spotlight our team members?
I can't at the moment. I've tried, but I think if they, I'll make you host and if you can try.
I'll give it a shot.
There you go.
Awesome. So, hi, we are Team 6. It's Sydney Pearsall, Alima Duvertile, Kevin Foltz, Christine Tate, and I am Brooke Phillips. We have created Connect Tour, a theoretical customized tour consultancy providing personalized tour programming for independent artists based on listening volume and velocity. So independent artists probably ask, do I need to sell my soul to a record label? And the answer is no. We can gather that data for you and make a case for you to get alternative financing for your tour. So our main problem was to figure out how artists can increase customer loyalty and revenue independently without the need for a label. Most independent artists have hurdles to jump over, such as including their base cases for emerging popularity with the data, as well as gaining financing. So our solution to this problem was to provide tour plans for artists growing in popularity, including concert venues, festivals, etc., based on our data collected on present targeting opportunities. We will choose artists who meet the correct criteria, who fall within promising or established categories from the taxonomy of artists from the Next Big Sound. Other criteria also included artists who showed an increase in growth in followers and listeners across a number of platforms, specifically within the last 3 months. These data points were collected through Chartmetrics, Spotify, and the Next Big Sound. So with that being said, I will hand it over to Kevin to explain our data more in depth, as well as our case study.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so for this, we decided to look into the case of Corpse. So Corpse, husband, is actually a YouTube streamer turned dark rapper who is known for his devilishly deep voice. And he actually only started making music about 6 months ago. And he's already an established artist according to Next Big Sound and has a large following across all the music discovery platforms. So what we did is actually we pulled his daily Spotify streaming data from his top 25 cities for the past 6 months to plan stops on his potential tour. So those graphs on the bottom represent his top 25 cities that are currently in the US. So like honing in on the graph right here. So if we look at the map graph, if we look to the size of the city bubbles, these represent the magnitude of his top daily Spotify streams over the last half year. And here, Chicago had the largest single day streams, with Corpse's top day grabbing him over 70,000 streams in a day with Chicago listeners alone. Now moving on to the color of the graphs shows the velocity of his Spotify streams over the last 6 months, or the growth from his average daily Spotify streams compared to his most recent numbers. So here, the blue circles actually show where his fan base is growing the fastest among his top US cities, and that's where San Francisco takes the cake. So Connect Tour would suggest Corpse tour in all of these cities, especially the cities with his larger fan bases or those larger circles, but then we would try to send out a little bit more targeted promotional campaigns to the blue cities where his fan base is growing the fastest. And I'll hand it off to Alima, who's going to talk a little bit more in detail about our proposed tour.
Thank you, Kevin. Now to the more fun part of what our company does. As Kevin mentioned before, we would be focused on mostly on the data where we would use the larger cities to create the tour for the artist to engage where his fans are across the nation. We chose these cities across the US to host these events at venues where they will have about approximately 600 people, so that he can host majority of his fans that are in those cities. Then we decided to plan his appearance at nearby festivals where he can engage his current fan base and also expand his fan base across other individuals who may be interested in his music at those festivals. We will promote majority of his tour on his social platforms where he has a robust following, which is on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. And mainly we would focus on his YouTube and TikTok channels because that's where majority of his fan base are, and we will be able to cut costs on paid advertisement.
So with that being said, we do thank you all for taking the time to view our presentation, and we hope that our data can give artists the insights to plan their live shows with Connect Tour. Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you, guys.
10 seconds under.
Question?
Yeah. Who's that question?
I do. Now the company's called Tour Connect, is that right?
Connect
It's
Tour.
called Connect Tour, kind of like a play on of like Connect Four. Just
Cool. That is one of the most incredible applications of data for touring I've seen. Oh my God, bravo. My one question, of course, is fraught with the industry is the click farm plays and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just wondering how you sift data to get rid of the people that are not being honest. Because somebody could want to secure financing to go on a tour and have a lot of fun after paying for clicks and stuff.
I totally understand that. If we had more time to kind of larger than the weekend, we would want to also, instead of just doing like streams on Spotify, they would try and like create a kind of like a metric where it would be a like kind of like an active listener. So it would be like people who kind of stream at least like 10 or so times before, and also maybe have those streams spread out over a period of time. So it's not just someone just like spamming the stream button over and over again to fool our algorithm. So if we had more time, we would probably build something in, but we just had the weekend.
A weekend. Oh my goodness. And you the team just kind of randomly was connected this weekend as well?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
You guys are y'all are great. Oh my goodness. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mara, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question about how you think about this like velocity metric versus kind of consistent listeners over time? Like, would it be better for artists to visit a city where they're like really blowing up in the past week, or where they've had like months and months of listening? And how will you think about that difference when you're recommending where to go?
Yeah, I think we just used velocity over like a 6-month span just to kind of show, like, we're just trying to show like in different cities, like where like the fan base was growing the most. But I understand your question as like, maybe it's better to have a consistent fan base. So I think this was just kind of like the first metric we would use. And if we want to build it out more, we will build something more sophisticated to not just use that like 6 months velocity, and kind of create a more holistic kind of approach to when we what city we recommend and when.
Again, it's excellent, especially in a weekend, and you guys just met. That's fantastic. Why? My question is, why specifically prioritize independent artists? Wouldn't this be an application that would be of use to booking agencies or other elements of the business, or is that a moral issue for you?
Brooke, do you want to, or sorry, Alima, do you want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah, I can definitely take this one. The reason why we chose independent artists, because we see now today within the music industry that a lot of artists are moving toward that independent status versus being connected to a record label. So because this is a common trend that is happening today and is very prevalent, we decided to focus on that. We saw that that may be a huge avenue that we can target that's possibly being overlooked because it's still so new for not only the artists, but also for record labels as well, and maybe other agencies. But we just wanted to be the first to say, hey, independent artists, we see you, we hear you, and we want to expand you.
That's all the time we have for questions for group 1. For group 6, and now team 7, get ready. Also, I just want to say I'm volunteering today, but I actually head up data and analytics at Paradigm Talent Agency. So this is my world. So I love this. And yeah, let's talk later, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Diana. Thanks, Team 6, guys. This was really well done. Team 7, I'd just like to reintroduce our judges. So we have Shane Shapiro, who is the founder and group CEO of Sound Diplomacy. We have Sarah Herlin, who's the founder of Stockholm Music City. Maura Church, Director of Data Sciences of Patreon, and Todd Tate, who's a musicologist and categorizer at Megatracks. Okay, so Team 7, you guys have already been made co-hosts, and Diana will kick you guys off in 30 seconds.
Yeah, all right, Team 7. I don't know if we need to wait 30 seconds, but I will send you a 1-minute note in the chat and take it away whenever you're ready. I'll start.
Thank you very much. Hello, wonderful audience. Welcome to How to Make Your Live Stream Count by Team 7. Please welcome to the stage, Maeve de Bourdon.
Thank you, Charlie. So as we know, live streams are a very big business nowadays. For example, this Jean-Michel Jarre virtual concert had 75 million viewers last year. And next. So why have we decided to research live streaming? Well, it's a huge opportunity for all of us, no matter where you are in the industry, and we're here to help you kind of understand its purpose and optimize your strategy to make the best live stream possible.
So how are we going to look at this? Well, firstly, we're going to look at which platforms are key, and then we're going to move on to look at the ROI of a live stream. The data sources that we've used for this, we've centered our research around Polestar, and one of the reasons why we've done this is because it's not a very well explored area, live streaming. It's a fairly new area, and so that's one of the reasons why we want to explore this. Paired it with Chartmetric data in some of our research as well. So which platforms are key? Well, firstly, no surprise to see that Facebook was the #1 channel that came out with 77% of the records in our data set going through Facebook. But what we found really interesting was that some streams were being captured through multiple channels at the same time. So we wanted to do a little bit of analysis on these by channel. So we found out that if you were on Twitch, a third of these streams are also going to be on Facebook. But if you're on YouTube, then 2/3 of the live streams are going to be on Facebook. But what does this actually mean in terms of views? So we've plotted down here, and this is views transposed logarithmically, just because if we had a big gig like The Weeknd up here, then it would eclipse all of the other gigs and push them down to the bottom of the chart. But all this violin plot is telling us is the distribution. So it's effectively like a histogram on its side. And all this is telling us that it is best to be on both to maximize viewers. But what about if we look at Twitch? So we found out that it's best to be on both Facebook and YouTube if we want to maximize viewers. But on Twitch, actually, it was the other way around, that soulless Twitch users, Twitch was winning out. So is this a function of the platform, or is it a function of the artists using the platform? Well, actually, interestingly, the mean Spotify followers and median Spotify followers were less for the soulless Twitch users. So it's not that they're the really huge artists. But genre might, however, be a significant influencing factor in this. So pop over-indexes, dance over-indexes, and so does electronic music. So there's a slight difference in genres that we see here. But key learnings from that: don't shy away from being on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And Twitch functions very well on its own. What about the ROI of a live stream? So one of the debates that we had through this process is, what is the purpose of a live stream? Is it about sales, or is it about promotion? So, of course, from a promotion perspective, we want audience growth, we want attention, the connection between the artist and fan base, where COVID has brought about more and more live streams, has been absolutely key. But people want to monetize that as well. So paid tickets is the obvious thing, but in terms of merchandising and tips, etc., but also increasing incremental streams off the back of our live stream gigs. So these two areas, paid tickets and increasing streams, was something that we wanted to look into. So we wanted to analyze this paid unpaid variance. So if we do a paid gig rather than an unpaid gig, what's the downshift almost in terms of the people that we get to turn up? Unfortunately, we didn't have enough paid records in our data set to be able to properly analyze that. We had a linear regression set up to look at that. When we excluded that paid because we didn't have the paid records, we got an R-squared of 0.4 for the linear regression using Facebook followers, other social followers, to predict the live stream views. But unfortunately, that was something that we couldn't set up, but something that we very much like to explore further later. But thinking about those incremental streaming listens that you get after a live stream, we took this specific example of this huge Dua Lipa gig, 5 million viewers, generated 2.3 incremental Spotify listeners, or did it? Because there was a lot of other activity going on at this time. So correlation doesn't necessarily equal causation. We see a nice big bump here, but there was a lot of other activity. Dua Lipa was on TV and lots of different places at the same time. So we could naively look at this and think there's a significant effect. However, when we looked at it doing a bit more rigorous statistical analysis, ran a regression on it and found that live stream views are actually a poor predictor of that uptick of streaming in the week after a live stream. So the variables that we included in this: live stream views, Facebook likes, etc. Has there been a recent release? Because of course that's going to be a big factor in whether there's an uptick in this as well.
Philip. Hi. Okay. Sorry about that. Time is up. And we would give the judges 3 minutes to ask questions at this point.
So what is the service? Is it a research consultancy specific to analyzing live streaming for that? That was the thing that I got missing. Is it to me, it felt more like a research project than a
exactly.
sales.
I think you're spot on. We didn't structure this around creating a service. It was informing the users of the piece of research.
Thanks.
Okay.
I have a question about you kind of take a causal approach to this and you say, what's the ROI if we can understand the causal impact of a live stream? How important do you think that is for artists to know, like, X live stream, one live stream equals, 4,000 listeners, incremental listeners? How important is it to get at that incrementality?
I think it's really important to understand the impact of the different things that you can do, because you only have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of resource. So where you pour that time and resource is essential. And also understanding if you're underperforming on things like that. The unpaid one is a really good example of that, because you're saying, well, I can choose to take the hit of paid, I'm going to get less viewers, but I'm going to get money for it. So actually, what's the trade-off? Understanding the different targets I'm likely to get for those is really helpful in that decision making.
Did the team discuss at all talking about experimentation in live streaming, like showing a random 50% of your viewers the option to join a live stream?
Love it. No, we didn't. But give us another weekend and we'll get right to that. No problem.
Love it.
And because it's in its infancy and everyone's talking about it in so many different guises, it's just such an exciting area. There's so many different ways that we could have gone down with this research.
Yeah, I think it's, when you're looking at return on investment, the first thing that we have to ask is how much to invest to then seek a potential return. And I find if you had another weekend, that'd be very interesting. What is the median, or what is the potential cost of a live stream that would then produce some sort of ROI, and what would that ROI be? That's what interests me the most. And
absolutely
dark, right?
Yeah, and that was the ideal that we had in our head, and squeezed with a weekend, and that was going to be quite hard.
Yeah, I totally caught the vibe of a consultancy, so the kind of definitely was an impressive review of the data. It sounds like you need more data, and the data's, it's definitely coming, and folks are making money. Watched a local band called the Mother Hips do live stream off of Stage It, and they easily made $50,000 in one night. It was awesome. Good job.
All right, guys, that's all the time for judges' questions. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Team 7.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So just to reintroduce our judges, and I've just lost the Zoom screen. There we go. We have Team 10. I've made you guys co-hosts. I hope you guys are ready. And just to reintroduce our judges, we have Shane Shapiro, who's the founder and group CEO of Sound Diplomacy, Sarah Hillen, who is the founder of Stockholm Music City, Maura Church, Director of Data Science at Patreon, and Todd Tate, musologist and categorizer at Megatrax. Team 10, you have the floor. Take it away. Your time will start when your countdown will start when you start presenting.
Hello, everyone. We are Team 10, and our project is called TimeTune. TimeTune is a platform that generates playlists based on nostalgia. It allows fans to remember, relive, and share memories through music. To begin building a playlist on TimeTune, you have to first have a desire to reminisce on a special moment. It can be an anniversary or a birthday. And what we do is create a playlist by using the year and the mood that you want to be in to share, and then that playlist will be curated so that you can share it with your family and friends to build deeper connections through music, no matter where you are.
So here is our TimeTune platform. Let me describe the user journey and the data behind it. So as a first step, user will log in with their Spotify account. To create a smooth user experience, we will use user authentication. So the core feature that anchors our service is the year. that the songs were released in. So that is the first thing that the user decides. Next, the user will choose initial filtrations, where they will select 5 artists and or genres. And then they move on to a Tweak Me section, where they select the number of songs they want in a playlist. And also this is where the mood and vibe element comes in, because these additional options are based on, Spotify's data, based on loudness, danceability, and speechiness. Speechiness is the amount of vocals in a song. So when user clicks generate playlist, our website is going to make several API calls based on the initial selection of the seed genres and artists, and also the other parameters. And this is where the recommendation API from Spotify comes in and returns a list of songs. And at this point, we are going to be refining the selection by year as a last as a last option, because that's the narrowest query that we've got. And that's when user gets a playlist that they can then share on Spotify, or they can share it with their they can listen to on Spotify, or they can share it with their friends, or via email or social media. Oh, sorry, we got mixed up. Slide. Sorry. There we go.
Now you're probably wondering, who is this targeting? Why do I care essentially about TimeTune? So TimeTune can be used for anyone. Music lovers who have a particular taste in music, but also have an interest in exploring different styles. University grads that are reminiscing on those fun and sometimes crazy parties that took place. Travelers that are used to going all around the world and are yearning to experience the sounds of the world. And we can't forget our family and friends who want to reminisce and celebrate those milestones and special occasions that took place many years ago. TimeTune is a platform that personalizes music through memories so that we can relive those special moments and connect by sharing with family, friends, whoever that you want to connect a memory with.
All right. So moving on to the commercial and business offerings, there would be primarily 4 offerings which would revolve around platform advertising, which would range from obviously advertising of products and offerings by businesses on the platform and the website, and of course audio ads on the playlist as well, followed by a brand and marketing partnership. For example, let's say Tinder, who does a lot of campaigns around LGBT community. So there could be a Pride Month playlist brand marketing plug, which they could do, or for example, Adidas or Call of Duty with the gaming section, followed by paid PR campaigns, where once the platform scales up, so on our blog section, an artist or an independent artist or a label and A&Rs can also do paid PR with our platform to make us push their particular playlist. And lastly, playlisting business, where playlisting corporates and brand establishments can also use our services to generate playlists for satisfying their customer briefs in their establishments.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, you guys are done. Thank you guys for that presentation, Team 10.
Thanks so much.
3 minutes for judges' questions.
Okay.
I have a question about making playlists on Spotify versus on TimeTune. What would motivate a user to make a TimeTune playlist instead of making one on Spotify? Like, what is the unique value that I would get as a user by making it on TimeTune?
I think the biggest one is that it's a very focused place where you go with the intention of doing this either for yourself or for your friends or family. And I feel like the platform and the interface that we have created allows for a lot of playfulness as well. So you are kind of taken out of the environment of Spotify and just have this simple interface that you can play around with, create different playlists. So you can, it's really like a playful place where you can kind of see, like, get really nostalgic, because the year is the USB. So any playlist that comes from our platform will always be based on the year.
And we also found out that from what we've seen, we haven't found a platform that allows you to pick a year, to pick your mood, and to choose from different regions from around the world at the same time.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
We're all very quiet.
Yeah.
That can mean a lot of things.
I think, yeah, Mara had my question is how will you convince someone to use TimeTune versus an additional provider, and would it be tied specifically to Spotify, or would it be a platform that would then be applicable to any streaming provider?
I think it depends on company. Please go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I just wanted to say, I think you could like develop it for other platforms as well, but I feel like starting with Spotify is the best place to be, because it's got like one of the largest user bases, and it's already quite well known for making playlists. So we are just adding like an additional interesting element that they are not doing.
The details of various search filters is what separates the two products differently, because one is just a place for just putting their playlist, and the other is customized search filtration based playlist.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, fascinating.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Team 10.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. I think team 2 was on the call for no one arrived during the presentation, so you guys would have heard our judges' introduction. So team 2, you've been made co-host. Please load your presentation, and your time will start as soon as your presentation starts.
Hi guys, we're team 2, and our project is the measure of emotion. So we are trying to determine a person's emotional state by their listening history. So what triggered us to do this research? We found that a lot of studies show there's a connection between music and emotion. So this is based on audio features in a song like valence, tempo, energy, and also lyrics. So you can determine if a song is more happy, calm, stressed, or anger just based on those variances. So why is this important for the music industry? So first of all, Gen Z listens to a lot of mood-based music now. You can see this in TikTok, where they're trying to find the right song to fit their vibe. So this is very helpful when you want to target them in marketing campaigns. You can make them more specific and structured. Second of all, we can find out the emotional states that most genres put in or an artist put in. This can determine set lists or different moods you want to create around your marketing campaigns as an artist. Third, you can also recommend music a lot better to other people, because not only does it specify genre or artist, you can also go into a mood that they want and want to focus on more based on what they like or listen to. So this is why our project is showing one specific mood around how you feel triggered. So feeling triggered to us means anger, angst, and being in your feels. We think these are emotions that people are not seeing as much in mood-based studies. So we wanted to focus on this one specifically.
Yes, and for our analysis, we took two different approaches. The first one was analyzing Spotify's audio features to see if the song is triggering or not. And for this project, we specifically focused on valence, energy, and tempo. So we found out that the lower the valence and the higher the energy and the faster BPM, the more triggering the song is. And then with a little trial and error, we came up with the weighted average formula that you can see on the screen right now. And if the result is over 0.75, that the song is triggering. And our second approach was a sentiment analysis of lyrics. And what we did was identifying keywords related to negativity, anger, and angst. And then we used the Genius API to identify triggering songs. And then we analyzed a couple of playlists based on mood, genres, and also artist discography. And here are some results that we found out. So for example, FK Twigs, as you can see, is pretty triggering. The Beatles are not. We also analyzed Christine's Angsty Girl Autumn playlist that she shared on Slack, and we found out that it's actually only 29% triggering. And also, I assume that all of you guys know the idea of trigger cities introduced by Chad Metric. So we analyzed Spotify's Viral 50 charts, and we came up with the triggered countries. So basically, we compared the number of triggering songs based on the countries, based on audio analysis and lyrics analysis. And as you can see, Russia seems to be the main triggering place at the moment. And now we're going to introduce you to our product.
So yeah, we are very happy to present you Triggerify, which is a tool that was conceived to indicate you your level of triggerness based on your recent listening history on Spotify. And actually, if you have your phones ready, you can scan this QR code or access this URL, and you can try it out firsthand. We will show the code afterwards if you want as well. And yeah, it's nice because it tells you the percentage of triggerness, and also in the ideally, when we finish developing the product officially, we will also compare your triggerness level, for example, with the general level of your country, and like know if you are more or less on the average of your country. Also compare your country with the rest of countries in the world, and you can even get a playlist recommendation. So maybe you get in a more chill mood or in a more hyped up mood. And finally, of course, you will have the possibility to share it on Instagram. And yeah, this was the project we worked on during this weekend. We are Z, Magda, and Dutch, Anton, and myself, Elias. You can actually see here our level of triggerness of today, and which is pretty revealing. And well, yeah, thank you so much for your attention. And please, please, please try the app and let us know your score in the comments. We will be very happy about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Team 2, Triggerify. Thank you for that presentation. So we will get the judges 3 minutes for questions.
Just in case, I'm putting the link in the chat.
Yeah, it's very interesting and very funny in a way, because I'm sure some of us were emo kids, but back in the 90s and 2000s. I think, have you thought of it? My thinking is, what is the purpose of it? Once you found out how triggered you are, or what do you want the user to do other than share how triggered they are?
So I can answer that. And so, for example, as Elias mentioned, we can also recommend the playlist based on the result. So the tool can be used in a very, very different ways. For example, for marketing an artist. So, you know, obviously it's a fun game for the users to find out how triggered they are. But then, you know, you can recommend a playlist made by a playlist brand, or made by your artist, or by a festival. So it can be used for marketing, definitely. Anyone wants to add something?
What about for mental health? Have you thought of it?
Definitely. I mean, of course, if you're too triggered, you definitely should listen to some more chill music that we can recommend. So yeah, absolutely.
I love this idea.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I love this idea. I'm 6% triggered, and I love that you can that you already have a proof of concept right there. Two things come to mind. One, I think an integration with Headspace would make a lot of sense. If you're really triggered, you open your meditation app and you start getting going. But I'd love to hear about any of the potential negative consequences of this kind of data that you thought through. Like, for example, states surveilling how triggered their citizens are and using using that information in an interesting way. So any negative consequences that you thought through?
So I can answer that. We did think about it a little because triggered can mean in so many different ways. So for us, we were determining kind of like which songs a person listens to. And we actually brought up the fact that a lot of people can listen to protest-based songs as well. So this is something that people can, like countries would surveil, look at too, but it's based on kind of the negative experience that the valence creates. So it could be based on that, or it could be a positive experience. It just depends on that. It has a little bit of negative connotation on that regard, but I think countries can also use it to determine sentimental analysis based on that as well, and see like if they can change policies or see what they can do better based on how people react, even if it's through a listening history.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
Well,
one more question.
Okay, well, I don't have any questions. I just thought I would provide words of encouragement. Great presentation. I get paid daily to tag moods on songs from Megatracks. MusiMap was funded to the tune of $1 million, and that's a mood AI for tagging music metadata. So good job.
Thank you very much.
From what I do working with cities and governments, it could be very dangerous. What you have proposed, but
it's based on public API, so they should have done till now.
I'm sure some of the places we work are already doing versions of this, which.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, Team 6, Team 7, Team 10, Team 2. Thank you so much. This has been an amazing. I don't know how long we've been online, but this has been great. Thank you for all the hard work that you guys, the hard work that you did this weekend, especially as you guys were virtually strangers as of Friday. This is a lot of work. Thank you. So I would like to invite you to move back into the main room. Diana will, everybody except the judges, if you can move back into the main room, Diana will drop the link in the chat, and we will see you guys in the main room shortly. So could everyone except the judges leave? And Diana, sorry.
1 second, I'll drop the link in just a moment, and then everybody can head out, or you can head out now and we'll make sure it's everywhere in Slack. Okay.
Or in the meantime, what I will do, until everyone leaves, I've opened some rooms. So the judges, you would see the rooms open if you want to hop in there. I think I've lost a judge.